My name is J.C. Henrekin. I farm in Whiteside County, a northern part of Illinois, in a little town called Deer Grove. And we currently farm corn and soybeans primarily, with some seed corn on the side as well. Prior to 2015, our nitrogen plan primarily consisted of a little bit of fall anhydrous, and then followed by the majority of our acres being spring anhydrous. And then we'd typically put on the remainder of our nitrogen over the top as a weed and feed. And then we did do some side dress on a limited basis, primarily on the seed corn, and then select farms that we'd come in with a side dress in that V5 time frame. Our 2015 nitrogen plan changed quite dramatically from years previous, and how we did that is we really primarily, except for about 2 farms, we did everything in the spring anhydrous. We come out with about 100 units of spring anhydrous. We still stuck with about 20 units of weed and feed there at the time of the pre-chemical, and then follow that up with the remainder in that V8 to V10, in some cases V12 time frame later on in the summer. In 2015, with the implementation of the 360 Y drop, we really seen a big difference, especially in our we have such a variety of soil types around here, from the heavy drummers to some really light sands. And that's where we really seen the big difference. This year, 2015, we had excessive moisture pretty much from early to mid-June, all through into early part of July primarily. And we felt we lost a lot of nitrogen, and actually verified that with the soil scan, with the 360 soil scan. And then it really made a big difference on those type of marginal soil type areas where typically we would expect to get say 50 to 60 bushel corn. This year we were pulling off 150 plus on ground that we typically don't expect that out of, and it really coming in late with to be able to feed it like that as it needed it, and it really made a big difference in our operation. What we've seen this year using the 360 Y drop, the real benefits of it to us was to be able to go in there that late as we're actually as tall as the corn could get. I mean, some cases the tassels were out on some where we were going in late to be able to feed it as it needed it. And I think that was probably the biggest thing to us, is to be able we had so much potential going into July, and we wanted to maintain that potential by feeding it as it needed it. And on a normal year, we would have still been relying on our early spring stuff. And with all that moisture, we just weren't holding on to it like we needed to. And so it really enabled us to feed the plant as it needed it. It was actually, I was remarkably surprised how easy it was to run through the sprayer. The first field was there's a learning curve to it for sure, but once we got through that first field, it really went remarkably smooth. In 2015, I did a fair amount of custom work with the 360 Y drop as well. And I had actually one grower call me during harvest, and I was extremely excited. And they had actually put out some with a full rate of nitrogen early, and then they had some where they split the rate and had me come in later with the 360 Y drop, and they were seeing a 30 bushel bump from where we come in with the later application. And really, he was extremely excited, and they're planning on, actually I just seen him earlier today, and they're planning on doing every acre with the 360 Y drop next year. The best recommendation I could give a grower that hasn't tried a 360 Y drop is to give it a try. Do a comparison, and take a look at it for yourself. And I guess I equate it a lot to fungicide a lot of times on the corn. It may not pay every year, every time, but the law of averages, it's gonna. And I'm a firm believer in that. And I think it's just the wave of the future, to be able to manage the nitrogen better. We're not wasting as much. We're utilizing it better, and in the long run, it actually becomes cheaper for us as growers because we're having less input cost.